Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we are taking a look at Patterning 3 and how to make your own custom kit and upload it to Cloud Kits. Now there are a couple of things to remember here. When you upload one of your own custom kits to the Cloud Kits, you must make sure that the samples belong to you and they're not anybody else's material, etc. Or you have permission to use those samples, or you've created them with a synth, etc. Anyway, so that being said, but that's all in the end user license agreement when you sign up to do it. So, but it's dead simple. It's all done from within the app. Right. First of all, I'm going to just create a new project. I'm going to discard the changes for that one. And there we go. It creates a name for us. Okay, so now we have a default project with nothing loaded into it at all, pattern wise. We are going to go here, and these are our kits. Now, this is a fresh install. This is the default kit, and these are where you find your cloud kit. So if you click on cloud, it will fetch everything that's in the cloud, and there are 692 of these, or 693. There are loads. I have a couple in here. If I go to date, now I have one called Metallics and one called Scissors. If I click on this, I can preview it here. And that gives you a preview. It does not load the pattern, but it gives you a preview of the sounds. If I choose my one called Scissors, I can preview that. Okay. Now, to download a cloud kit, super simple. You just hit the little download icon and it installs it there. And I'll install both of mine just for fun. There you go. And now they're both installed and I can use them as I like. But if I replace this now and press play, you'll see there's nothing going on, because if we go back here to our main screen, you'll see there's no instruments being added. Right, okay. If I was to add an instrument now, right, like this one, you'll hear that it's one of my scissor presets, because I've got the scissor kit loaded. If I go to the second one here, okay. So then you're building your patterns from the kit that you've downloaded. It doesn't include the pattern. Let's just go back to default. You can build your own kit from any of the existing kits. You're just replacing samples. So if we now go back into our main pattern view and tap this here where it says tap to open, this gives you access to all the samples that are used in that kit. And you'll see they're all there. And if we switch this little button on here and go into, say, one of the packs, we can audition those sounds. Right. Now, here's another tip before you start to make your own kit. Okay, let's go back to this. It doesn't really matter. But let's go into our mixer. You will see that my kit is also loaded in. Although it won't load the pattern, it will load all my mixer settings and effect settings and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go double tap that, double tap this, double tap that. I'm just going to reset everything and double tap on mixers to reset any adjustments I've made there as well. So basically you're starting with a kind of a clean slate. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's do this. Let's go back. Now I can choose from either my metallic samples or scissor samples or the original samples from the P3 default kit. However, I want to show you the file management. So we have three samples there to start with, right? Okay, that's fine. Let's go into the file manager in a minute, the Files app. And if we look on my iPad, you will find further down here, your patterning 3, and in samples. So you'll see, first of all, in drum kits, you'll see our 3 drum kits, the 2 I've just downloaded, and you can delete them from there as well if you don't want them. And then you've got your samples, and I have my 2 drum kit packs of samples and NAT samples. I want to go to my T7 SSD hard drive where I have loads of stuff. I'm going to go to, I don't know, TSTR sample packs. And I've got TSTR one shot. I am going to open this and you'll see I have a bunch of stuff in here like kicks, organ, pads, all sorts of stuff, right? I'm going to go back to the main folder. I'm going to hit select. I'm going to click that and I'm going to hit move. And I'm going to go to on my iPad and go and find my patterning 3. Go to samples, and I'm just going to click copy. Now, depending on the size of the file, this may take some time. So you watch here. So what I'll do is I'll do a little cut here and get back to you when this is like installed. Okay, almost done. Didn't take long, and we'll know when this finishes. There you go, it's done. So if I go now back to my iPad and look again for patterning, you can just go back to patterning, by the way, but I just want to show you that it's loaded into patterning. If we go to samples now, you'll see, there we go, one shots. And as soon as it's done it's still doing it. It's still downloading those samples. There you go, it's done. If we click on it now, you can see all my folders in here. If I open kicks, you'll see all the kicks, etc. So depending on the size of the pack, depends on how long it'll take to, install. Right, okay, let's go back to patterning. And now as soon as you just reopen patterning, you'll see a new folder has appeared called One Shot. If I click on this now, and I'm going to go to kicks, and I can now sample, because I've got this on, I can now choose a kick. So for example, we can make some edits here. I can even increase the gain and then just tap to open. And now this kick is now being put onto this. Okay, so now we've got our custom kick in this pattern. Now, making sure your pattern is good is good, because when you upload it to CloudKits, this is the pattern it will preview. Okay, so it will preview a pattern that you've made. Okay, just saying that there. Go back to go back here and tap to open, and now we can start to add one. So choose snare. Let's go back to our folder. Now you could use any samples you like, it don't have to be drums, but we could go to snares and maybe go. And you'll see that when I've made these, I've got some effects on them as well. So a lot of wasted space there. So let's do this. You can also edit these. You could crop them, but they'll just duplicate the sample for you. And then you'd have to go into your Files app and delete it. You know what I mean? But let's just do this. Let's increase the gain a little bit on that to start. And let's put this in here. See what happens. Okay. So now we've put our custom snare in there. We can carry on. Let's do this. Let's add in let's go back to the top here. And let's add in some closed hi-hats now. Let's add in a real basic one. Again, tons of wasted space there. My fault. When I originally made these, I didn't edit them properly. Tap on this. If you're a patron, by the way, you'll have all these samples. So now we can just kind of, what have you see what I've done? I've replaced my snare. This is important. Let me go back to my snares here. There they are. Let's choose another one. I think it was this one. I'm going to stick with this one. I'm going to increase this. Make sure you're highlighted on snare, right? Now, if we go back and play our pattern, it will be what we want. Select closed hi-hat next, and it will rename whatever you've got kind of thing to the name of the sample. Let's tap to open this. Go and add in a one shot here, and we'll look for some closed hi-hats. So hi-hat closed. We'll just use this one and make sure you're selected on the correct place to install it. Load it in. I'm going to just increase that a bit. Tap to open and put some of these hats in here just for fun. Okay. Now, don't forget you can do all the other cool stuff, but for speed, let's do this. Okay. And now, again, we carry on. We go back here and start to add in some other stuff. So we go back to one shots here. Maybe look at some percussion. I don't know. Yeah, let's put that in. Let's leave that on choke group 1 as well, so it chokes itself. And let's move. Actually, that was quite a long sample anyway. Now, if your sample is too long to load, patterning will tell you, okay? It will tell you that it might cause problems. You can still load it, but it might cause issues. So I am going to, you see, I've replaced my hi-hat now with this percussion sample. So if I go to this now, these are the mistakes you make. Although it sounds okay. So let's go to the hi-hat sample now. Let's go back to our one-shots. Make sure that we're on hi-hat closed. I'm going to choose this one this time. I'm going to do a little bit of editing there. Increase that range there. Do this. And now I'm going to place in a bunch of these. And go to my actual percussion here and take some of these out because, you know, it's too much. And you'll see I've got some automation going on here. I'm going to delete that automation. And that was from a previous kit. Okay, let's go back into our kit and make sure we are selected on a new empty one. So one we're going to replace. And now I'm just going to add in a couple of, I don't know, I mean, you can add in synths, guitars, stuff like that. There's some cool stuff you can do. Maybe we could add in some synth lead. Okay, let's add that in. I'm going to do a bit of editing there. Bring this in a little bit. I'm just going to increase the volume a minute and then do this. And now if I do, this is very cool, right? If I do this, put some stuff in here. Right, you hear this? That's that synth I've just put in, but now we can do some extremely cool stuff. Now, if you watch my patterning through tutorial, you'll know how to do this. But what we're going to do is we are going to hold Alt and slide over to LFO1. And you see this down the bottom here. This is the scale that LFO1 is going to choose when I choose to modulate coarse tuning with LFO1. So watch this. I'm going to take out everything here apart from, I'm going to take that B out. I'm going to take that G out. I'm going to take this E out. So all I've got is a C, D, an F, and an A. Watch this. I'm going to play this and now I'm going to modulate the coarse tuning. I'm going to move this a little bit. You see? And now it's going to play what I've just modulated. So if I tap on this again and play. Right, let's give it something to do. Go back to our LFO. Now, I'm going to long hold this. And now I've automated, by long holding this and then making adjustments, I've automated this LFO, but it's only going to pick notes from here. Add another note in. Let's put some delay on that, shall we? Okay. I'm going to stop it there and go back to my thing because I still got a couple more to add. So now go to another empty slot here, percussion. I'm pretty sure this is empty, but we can easily check by going here. Yeah, this is a new empty slot. Now you don't have to, what you do need to do is load your samples in, right? So I'm going to speed this up a little bit now. I'm going to go back to one shots here. Maybe go with maybe some sort of woodwind sound. Okay, I'm just going to tap to open, but I'm not going to put anything in. If you download this kit, once it's uploaded, you could put some of that saxophone in. Then I'm going to go to my next sample here, tap to open this, go back. Let me just excuse Watson for you. Be back in a minute when he's shut up. Okay, he seems to have shut up a bit now. So we can choose another sample. Now I want to show you if I choose, well, you could choose maybe a synth effect. Let's just... Now, here's an example. You can load the file, but it's too long. And if I look at my mixer as well, I think, yeah, loads of panning on that at the end. So let's go back to our samples here. So, see, if it's too low, but you can load it. But a lot of these are long. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to trim it there. Now, like I said, you can trim these samples. If we go here, you'll get the edit menu and you can go crop. And I'll just go, yeah, edit, it's fine, enter. But you'll see that it still has the original wave in there. And whatever kits you share with people, they will contain all your samples as well. So be aware that you're sharing and allowing people to use your samples in your kits. Okay, that's just a thing. But I know a lot of people get a big kick out of uploading the kits, and some of them are absolute genius. Right, let's choose this edited version. Let's increase the gain for that. Let's tap to open. And you don't need to add this, but maybe you could just add one here or something. So change the attack and hold. You can also change the tuning. Okay, that's that one. Now we've got one more to do. So make sure we select our low tom and let's choose one more sample from one shot, and maybe we could go with text. All my textures are way too long, but we've got synth pluck. Synth pluck might be nice, I don't know. Yeah, that one. So like I said, I can edit this, do this. By the way, you can go in and do all this stuff, edit the samples, etc., do what you want with them once you've loaded them in. So tap to open. So now we have a complete, I'm not going to put anything in here. So now we have a complete, unique, original drum kit, right? So how do we save our drum kit? Well, this is the next step, isn't it? Let's go back in here. And we have a couple of options here. Let's go back to our TSD, our one shot here. The options we have, this is your edit menu. Okay. This is your sample folder menu where you can open samples or import samples. You can import single shot samples. This menu here, this is where you want to go. So now this P3 default is actually now our new drum kit we've just made. So click on this little toaster icon and go save as, right? And now we're going to save this as TSTR YT tutorial. So that when it's on the cloud, you'll know that this is the kit I used to make this video, right? Enter this and it's done, it's saved, but it hasn't got rid of our default. If we go back to our default kit, now this will play the same pattern, but with the default kit from patterning. And this is how it works. Now you'll see it doesn't reflect my logo or anything, although it's going to. When we delete this kit from inside of patterning and download it again from the cloud, otherwise it's just going to look like this. You can do this. You can long hold on this and release and choose something from your photo album. I'm not going to bother doing that. Now, right, this is our kit. Click on the same icon again here and go export. Now you can use export to include sample data with the drum kit or upload to cloud kits. Export. Export to file? No, I want to export this to cloud kits. So click on cloud kits. It doesn't seem to remember my logo from last time, my picture. We can preview it. And the preview is generated from the current pattern. This is what I was saying. Samples are user created. Yes, you'll be asked all this when you sign up. Rename samples to use kit. Yes, short name, blah, blah. It's neither here nor there, really. Right, okay, so now we want to go to edit. I'm going to go artwork. Click on this. This is where you select your tags, by the way. And if you've got a URL, you can stick it in there. If you've got other info, blah, blah. You've already entered your username when you sign up to do it. Let's click on this and choose me logo. I'm just going to move this over to suit, more or less. Okay, I'm just going to select it. And now it's changed it, right? And now all I need to do is go back to prepare to upload and scroll up a bit, hit upload, and it's uploading the cloud kits. And it won't take long. It's complete. Done, right? So now if we go to cloud kits and I'll go to date, it'll refresh in a sec. There we go. It does. You've got to scroll down to refresh. Now I can download this, even though it's the same as the one I've already got there. But I'll show you a reason for doing this. Now I'll download this kit. But before I do that, look, you can go in. You can go in and preview it. But you already know it's got some kit samples in it, right? Go back. We can click download now. And it's done. Dead quick. Done. And there it is, right? So there is our tutorial kit. But you'll see I've still got my tutorial kit there. It doesn't just delete the kit. It's always going to be there. So what we're going to do is go back to our Files app. Okay, so gone back to my Files app. It's remembered where I am. And actually, I'm going to go to on my iPad, go and find patterning. There it is. Click on it and see where it says drum kits now. Now I've got my default, which I don't want to get rid of, I want to keep, but I've got my 4 custom drum kits now. But you'll see that one of them is this. This is the one that we've downloaded. Okay. This is the original. I'm just going to hit select, hit that, and just delete it. Okay. And I can rename this now if I want to as well to whatever you like. But, to rename a pattern kit, by the way, you can just click on here and go rename. Let's go back to patterning, and now you'll see the other kit just disappears. So now we have all our original kits and the new one we've just made. Okay, so and it's renamed it that, but you can go in and save it as, but it'll just duplicate the kit basically. Anyway, that's all of it. You can have great fun. Couple of things to remember: please use your own samples and stuff, or stuff you have permission to use. You can use any sample you like. If you get the it's too long warning, you can still use the sample. You can just edit it if you want to. Yeah, but most samples will be absolutely fine because it's a drum machine. Percussive is usually best. You can see that you can tune up and play your melodic stuff as well using the LFO or the coarse from fine tune per step sort of thing. You can do that as well. It's great stuff. Anyway, top job. Cool bees. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. Please consider becoming a Patreon. And I will see you guys later. Yeah, awesome. Ta-da.